everybody out there in the land of YouTube. Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Oh, there. I was so small and I am bigger. How are you doing? Happy Friday. What a week, huh? Yes, Friday, the lucky number 13th. Somebody just beeped their horn when I said that. I hope you had a great day. I hope you had a great week. It's kind of crazy out there. Kind of nuts. I mean, out there in the world. But let's just be happy that Kamala Harris is knocking it out of the park. I pause for motorcycles and loud cars. Let's take a look at what's going on. I've been a little thrown off by all this conspiracy theory stuff that we've been hearing about Haitian immigrants eating people's pets. What's most disturbing to me about that is the number of people that are all up in arms about it. To which I want to say this. I really do want to speak to this. What Donald Trump is doing is right out of the Hitler playbook. It's right out of the Hitler playbook. And I think it would behoove us to... I never read Mein Kampf. I'm not really interested in reading Mein Kampf. But it's worth thinking about that he's not a big reader, but it's reportedly Ivana, his wife, who's now buried on the golf course, said that that's what he had on his bedstand. And I've heard it said before that if you even just so much as sleep with a bed, on a bed with a book next to you, you actually can absorb the energy of that book. And I talk energy all the time, so I would say that that's probably, if he had it on his nightstand, then he probably read it and it probably seeped in. The reason that there's many reasons that this whole conspiracy theory has me so enraged and kind of beside myself. But one is how many people that are following Trump that think that it's good that this is being talked about. That this is the topic of conversation. And the truth of the matter is what this is, it's a blatant attempt to get everyone, and Donald Trump has been doing this for 9 years, to get everyone to not look at the crimes that he's committed, to not look at who he really is, and to look somewhere else. It's the oldest con trick in the book. If you can imagine, a couple of thieves, maybe 3 thieves, come into your house, and one of them acts like they're a friendly neighbor and knocks on your door and has you chit-chatting with them, while the other 2 are going to the back of the house and breaking in and robbing you blind. It's the oldest scam in the book. And I'm really, 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 really upset about it. We'll get to the good stuff too, but this just needs to be addressed because it's right in the forefront of the news. I'm happy to report just a few minutes ago, I have been out of curiosity checking in here and there on MSNBC. And I was happily surprised to see that Ari Melber was showing Kamala Harris as doing a live rally. Well, she was just a few moments ago. I'm kind of losing track of where she is. I think she's in Pennsylvania. But I might be wrong about that because, she's just going from one place to another. But my goodness, the whole Haitian community in Ohio, what Trump is doing is he's just, he's creating a problem where there's not a problem. And we'll get to the cards. I just need to vent about this. I just want to say this. Even if there was, yeah, she is in Pennsylvania. Thank you. even if there was some crazy thing going on, like people, there was one crazy woman, she wasn't a Haitian, which is probably where this all started, reportedly, who was just crazy and ate a cat. Okay, so that might be where this all started. But even if it were true, which is insane to think about, that immigrants, they're here legally and they work in the community in Ohio. What does that have to do with who's more capable of running our country? What does it have to do with who is more competent to run this country? Nothing. If that was actually going on, it would be up to the mayor, to law enforcement, to whomever the representatives are. And those poor people in Ohio are getting bomb threats, and those poor Haitian people are getting death threats. And I don't care what any MAGA says, that's not okay. To be scaring the hell out of innocent people. And not to mention, it's RFK Jr. that was eating animals. Exactly, Lisa. So, it's just so unfair. It's so outrageous. It's so indicative of how off the rails crazy Trump is. It's very, 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 very upsetting. So anyhow, I actually had a list of a few things that we needed to go over, but I don't know where I put it, but I can remember. Now, we're going to read cards. We're going to read on Laura Loomer. We're going to do a big old reading about Laura Loomer. I took my nefarious people cards out yesterday, and I don't know where I put them. You know me. Things have legs and they walk away. So what I'm going to do is Warren sent me these. Let me show you what they are. Because Warren apparently thinks that I need new tarot cards. Thank you, Warren. The Hirschfeld Broadway Tarot. Now, I have to admit that these aren't really nefarious people cards, but I have to admit that I'm not really that up on my Broadway plays. So we're actually going to pull 3 cards from this deck, though. Is Warren here? Electra Storm, you took the words right out of my mouth. Laura Loomer. What's Lumen? I think those Lumen's some kind of product that they advertise on Midas Touch. She's very mentally unstable, and she definitely reeks of a demonic presence. She does. The things that she says about people are the kinds of things that she says about people are things that you would just never, you can't even believe that she says. What are you saying, Michael? Yeah, the Haitians were invited to come to Springfield, Ohio, and they're legal. Yeah, you have a question mark there. Are you questioning that? Yeah, when even Marjorie Trader Green says that she's a racist, that Laura Loomer is a racist, you know, just when you think they can't go any lower. What I'm trying to figure out how to say something without saying it. So here's what I'm going to say, and you can be psychic and just read between the lines. I get very strongly that Laura Loomer is doing favors for Donald Trump. Now you can take that and run with it. I'll look low and to the left for my nefarious. Are you messing with me? You know what it is? I think I put them in a bag somewhere. I'm not going to drive myself crazy. I'm just going to use these. Laura Loomer is doing favors for Donald Trump. I'm going to ask my pendulum. And I didn't say anything but that. But I did read on it earlier on my own. Is Laura Loomer doing favors of any kind for Donald Trump? Yes, a strong yes. A yes that kind of wound up to get, to really be a strong, it was kind of like, let's gear up and roar, yes, yes, yes. Damon, what kind of favors? Yeah, I think you catch my drift. Warren, I haven't really used these cards. I'll tell you after I look into them more. Thank you for sending them. I just have to familiarize myself. I'm reading on Laura Loomer. She's distracting the MSM from no plan, no policy. Yes, she's distracting them from the no plan, no policy. Yes. The only reason Donald Trump is running for president is for his own gratification and freedom. And Sherry's saying, I live in Springfield, Ohio, and I'm just so sad. We're glad to have this Haitian community here working and living among us. I have no more words. We are not an affluent city, and we welcome them. Well, as you should. That's the Christian way. That's the humanitarian way. I mean, let me just say this. I'm reading on Laura Loomer. If I'm hungry and I want to go get something to eat where I am, I walk 2 minutes to this Korean restaurant where there are Korean people, South Korean people, obviously not North Korean, right here. And then if I want to go buy some fake beer or some eggs or whatever, I go a few steps from that, and there's a convenience store that's owned by Indian people. And we've talked about Sadhguru. Wherever you live, I'm sure that's the case. I mean, in a certain way, I'm sure that's the case. Most Americans don't have any problem with immigrants being here because almost all of us came from parents or grandparents or great-grandparents who immigrated here. Yes, she's working for Russia. Angela's asking that question. Yes. This is all the Russian influence on America. This is spies and people who work for the Kremlin that have infiltrated our public arena and our politics. And I just want you all to know, if you don't kind of feel like you know this already, that pretty much the number one reason, I'll just say the number one reason that we are as divided as we are in the United States, the number one reason is Russian influence in this country, because America is the jewel in the crown for the authoritarian dictators. They have been drooling over America for decades. They need to take us over. And the Republican Party is not the Republican Party anymore. It's the MAGA Party. We'll lighten it up shortly. I just want to tell you what's on my mind, because it's on all of our minds. Okay, the Four of Coins is Laura Loomer is hiding something. Laura Loomer is hiding something. This is a Four of Pentacles. And the Two of Cups. Yes, the Two of Cups and the Two of Coins. Laura Loomer is not in any way whatsoever working on her own. This is not just her. And I don't know about all of you, but there are certain people like J.D. Vance and Laura Loomer and, you know, the rest of them. But J.D. Vance and Laura Loomer, really, really, really awful energy. If we're going to kind of rate the energy, how bad the energy is. She's right up there. And is it Sparts in Indiana? Do I have that name right? That woman has very similar. Terry, that's your state. Is that correct? Is it Sparts? The MAGA woman? She's a representative in Indiana. She has very similar energy to Laura Loomer. If you guys know who I mean. Yeah. Laura Loomer is in cahoots. Serious cahoots. I'm picking up Viktor Orban and I'm picking up Putin. All right, we're waiting for the info on that. And I see that it's time for a group hug. And I want us to do a group hug about people in America coming together. Yeah, Loomer is a Roger Stone protege. That makes sense. So we're going to do a group hug about people coming together and defeating MAGA so it just goes away forever and ever. Okay? Yeah, well, for Springfield, it's all in there. It's all in there. All right. 1, 2, 3. That MAGA goes away and we come together as a United States. And for the poor immigrants that are being harassed, for that to stop. All right. You have failed. You did not mention the group hug. Well, I'm trying to prove to you that I don't forget. Actually, I was looking for you, Warren. I'm like, how come Warren's not bugging me? Yeah, we can do better. I do need to get used to these cards, so I'm going to just put them aside for right now. They're black and white. It's a little hard for me to see them. I told you the other day that I have a new table, and it's a bit bigger. It's much more, it's a stable table, but it's a little bit, it's a little bit bigger, so it's kind of hard for me to see the picture. Okay. So Laura Loomer posted something about Lindsey Graham, and the reason she posted something about Lindsey Graham, she basically outed Lindsey Graham for, yes, I can barely see the dad joke. The reason that Laura Loomer posted about Lindsey Graham, that she outed him basically. It was retaliation for Lindsey Graham saying on some news show, I don't know if it was Fox, that Trump was defeated by Kamala in the debate. So here we are in a country where if you, like, even the moderators who did a good job, they fact-checked him. They fact-checked Trump like 3 times. You know, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about the only thing that MAGA doesn't have a problem with is if you have fealty to Donald Trump. If you are just a normal person living your life, then MAGA has a problem with that. Right? So here are these moderators for ABC doing the job of moderating a debate. They were doing the job of moderating a debate, and they're being demonized by right-wing extremist media for really, it's like they can't do anything right. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about Lindsey Graham. I'm just going to use my Witch's Tarot. And right after I'm done, my other cards will be right in front of me. Yay to Terry! Terry came to Salem. We couldn't work it out that we would get together. We'll do it the next time. think she had fun. She said she had fun. Salem is a fun place. I need to buy a big what? Okay. Lindsey Graham. Thank you, Darren, for putting up my info to make donations, and thank you to those of you who have donated. I really would like to get some more people booking readings. I love to do readings. I want to work. All right, Lindsey Graham. This is going to be challenging for him. I feel like Lindsey Graham has been trying to hide his sexual preferences for his entire existence. And it's going to be really taxing on Lindsey. I mean, I have to tell you that I'm a little bit concerned about Lindsey's mental stability, and I hope he has a lot of people around him that care and that are supportive. Because, you know, I care about anybody. I don't care who they're, you know, just from my humanitarian standpoint. The Five of Wands, this is going to be really challenging for Lindsey. The harassment is not going to stop. Laura Loomer, she just gets the fire going. Dad joke, you know, some people say they pick their nose. I was just born with mine. You didn't get to pick. And the Four of Wands. I think this is going to be it for Lindsey. I don't think he'll be reelected. He might not run again. Yeah, Pia, I don't agree with that. I mean, Pia's saying Lindsey's finally free to be who he is. He will be fine. I don't agree. That's not what I'm picking up. I am not picking up that Lindsey is fine. And I also know what it's like to live in an area where people think that just from living in the South and seeing how people that are gay are not accepted in general, I don't get that Lindsey's going to be fine. So, sorry. I mean, sorry, Lindsey. That's just what I'm reading. I hope he's okay. Who else did she bash? She's crazy and dangerous, and she's a sociopath. Like, you don't see that much sociopathy in one person that often. Yeah, Lindsey was keeping it to himself. This is going to be tough on him. Who else did she bash? Oh, well, she bashed Kamala Harris. She said horrible things about Kamala Harris and claimed that Kamala Harris didn't get to where she is of her own, you know, talents and skills and intelligence. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about. I'm actually going to pull 3 cards about how that's going to go for Laura Loomer. Let's see. 4 of Swords again. Oh no, I had the 4 of Pentacles again. 2 of Wands. All right, so that even looks like her. She has a lot of secrets. Laura Loomer has a lot of secrets, and it's going to get exhausting for her to continue to try to hide them. Now, I'm actually getting some energy around Melania. You saw Laura Loomer and Nick toasting the destruction of the Republican Party. Nick Fuentes? She's a destroyer. Laura Loomer is a destroyer. Laura Loomer's mission is to destroy America. Yeah, that's what she's doing. The High Priestess. So that card indicates that she's actually working for Putin. Yeah, she's working for the Kremlin. Let's ask the pendulum if this will be revealed. Will it be revealed that Laura Loomer is working for the Kremlin? Will that come out? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Project Watch Loomer, right? I like that. Yes, it will. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cash. Cash who? No, thank you. Did I read that right? Oh, me oh my. Let's pull 3 cards about the Donald. He's completely, entirely off the rails. He's doubling down on the craziness. I'm just going to pull 3 cards. I'm a little lost without my nefarious people cards. That's pretty sad, isn't it? Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's use these. Let's go to the Voyager Tarot. Loomer is so vile. That's the word. That's the word. And when I see people that are that horrible, that have that much demonic energy, it makes me so grateful that that wasn't my path in this lifetime. It's really true. Oh, and by the way, I want to mention that somebody informed me when I've had to resort to monetizing my videos because that's the only way I make any money off of YouTube, and it's a small pittance. But somebody informed me that they're running, I don't know what the commercials are, but they're running a Trump commercial. So I'm on the fence about whether to keep on monetizing my channel. I do want to look into that because I don't want anybody coming to my show and seeing a commercial for Trump unless it motivates you. Unless it motivates you. I don't know. I kind of thought, well, it motivates people maybe, and maybe I'll just keep it. The fallout for Trump for just continuing to double down on this craziness. Lindsey, Trumpy, and that other closet case pedo that represses his wife. Yeah, Johnson. MAGA Mike. Yeah, he's gay too. He was into that conversion therapy thing. How are things gonna go for Trumpy? Laura Loomer is only 31 years old. Well, she's learning evil at a young age. She's probably been that way her whole life. I'm actually picking up for, okay, I have around Donald Trump. I can't overstate how much terrible circumstances can push us more into the light. And so what I see is that what Trump is doing is going to, it's really hard to see these, but it says logic at the top of this card, and it's the 4 of crystals. I have no idea why they did white on tan with these cards. They're cool cards, but as far as how Trump is doing, he's actually pushing more people to be rational that are observing him when it comes to who do we want to run this country. It's causing us to be more involved, and our reward for being more involved is a Democratic win. So what's going on around Trump is the more we see him, the more unhinged he is, the more he's calling for violence and inciting violence, the more our logic, as a collective America, the more our logic will kick in. Like, do we really want this? Like what Kamala Harris is saying, do we really want this? Are you guys having trouble with trolls? Thank you to the wrenches. I always forget to thank you. The more heinous Trump acts, the more people logically are going to give to Kamala Harris. And it causes us to want to aspire to be a more united country. So, all right, interesting. On Tuesday, we're having a show with Kathy Beal. Tuesday is a lunar eclipse, full moon, and the sign of Pisces is Amy Is Amy in the chat? Amy Kirshner? I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She's won a tarot reading. If Amy Kirshner's in the chat, we have an anonymous donor who donated a tarot reading to her. All right. I'm going to pull 3 cards about Melania because I'm really picking up a lot of tension. I mean, I know that we're hearing about Marjorie Trader Green and Laura Loomer in a fight. Marjorie actually said something like that Laura Loomer was being racist by saying the White House was going to smell like curry, which is a stupid, if that was meant to be an insult, it's a stupid one. On Tuesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. It's already a full moon. It is? I'm looking outside. I don't, it's not full yet. And there's another, stay tuned, tune in on Monday because there are 2. The second tarot reading I'll be raffling off. Amy, yes, you were donated 2. Let's read on, I'm going to pull 3 cards about the MAGAs. No, it's not the full moon yet. Somebody was saying it's now, but it's, I don't know. All right. The MAGAs right now. Interesting. I'm pulling the logic card again. Okay, so these cards are telling me tonight that we need to chart a logical course forward. And it's also telling me there are people in positions of leadership and power who are putting together a plan to combat the madness of the MAGA madness. It's MAGA madness. That's what it is. Do I have my classes on the homepage yet? I think so. Is it time for my commercial yet? Brilliance and, okay, I keep getting again and again and again. The more MAGA acts out, the more powerful the Dems become. Because logically, normal people, there's actually more normal people than crazies. That's the good news. The normal people will definitely be louder and stronger and more powerful. And like I said, I saw MSNBC just a little bit earlier. And they were playing a good, like, several minutes, like 10, 12, maybe longer minutes of Kamala Harris's rally. Crazy. Okay. So as far as MAGA goes, I just want you to know that we're in a time right now, which is, it's kind of different. It's kind of unique. The time that we're in right now is a time of building our own plan as a collective United States of America to combat the madness as it becomes clearer and clearer how much madness there is. And Walz and Harris are doing great at their rallies, and they're meeting the moment every time. And Tuesday night, there is really nothing that I can think of that Kamala Harris didn't say. I would have liked to have heard more about what she'd do about guns, but I think we kind of know. I have, Damon's asking me if I've ever been to Crystal Lake. Is it related to something that I'm saying? I think there's there's a Crystal Lake there's a Crater Lake in Oregon. I have been there. Okay. Okay, so Yogi Bear said, I'm waiting for Trump to take off that rug wig and say he's gay. That's pretty funny. All right. I do have classes coming up. I need to promote them. They start next Saturday, not tomorrow. I'll promote that more on Monday. All right. And I hope you want, and you can take 6 classes. Sign up for 6 classes, and you get one free if you want. Okay, 3 cards now. About, I mean, it's interesting because a couple times just now that I read on MAGA, I keep on getting that it's this resistance that we're doing that's going to make us stronger. And it's going to make us shinier. It's going to make the light brighter because it's pretty much, we have our work cut out for us. We know what we need to counter here. We know what we need to address. They're making it very clear. All right. On Monday, by the way, we'll do a little raffle for the the other tarot reading. Yogi Bear is saying, I lost a friend last night, Annette. She turned into a MAGA zombie. I have a feeling that it's not permanent. It's probably just a temporary moment of insanity. Okay, so I'm pulling 3 cards about how the Harris Walz are doing. Okay, interesting. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they have it. They have it. They have it. We have a win. We have a win. The pendulum says Trump is gay. That's funny. I mean, it's funny, like nobody's ever said that. I've never really thought about it. What Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are really bringing forth in America is, I have the love card. I have the sun card, which is indicative of healing light. And, you know, these cards right now just make me feel completely reassured. And the nurturing card. We're taking back democracy and we won't be backing down. That's a line from my song. That's the hook. That's the hook line. That's the hook, line, and sinker. So hope and joy. Yes, I have love and I have nurturing and I have the sun. So this is a winning ticket. This is a winning ticket. More Democrats running in elections winning. Running in elections winning. Yes. Did I see when Trump said that he wants to take away guns and she said she and Tim had guns? Yeah. And he looked totally flabbergasted. Yes. Kamala Harris hit all the right notes. And then, see, the thing is, and then Taylor Swift threw her support behind the Harris Walz ticket, and that we reached the tipping point. And with Oprah's support and the Obama support and, you know, big names, I did hear that Stevie Nicks came out and was in support of Taylor Swift. The celebrities will be coming forward. I'm pretty sure Bruce Springsteen has too. When I ever heard, we're going to read on J.D. Vance. Thank you, Marby. When I ever heard J.D. Vance talking about Taylor Swift should not, oh my gosh, the projection is unbelievable. He was talking about, a billionaire celebrity basically should keep her mouth shut. Honestly, I mean, I just want to go after these people on Fox that are having a problem with Taylor Swift speaking. Linda Ronstadt too, that's right, because he had some kind of a rally at a center that was named after Linda Ronstadt. I'm actually going to pull 3 cards and I'm going to ask about, because I'm really wondering about this. How is it that Trump can be inciting violence and getting away with it in Ohio? Because that is what he's doing. 10,000 new voter registrations per hour. Wow. Since Taylor Swift's endorsement. Yeah. Oh, she shouldn't be talking. She should just shut up and sing. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy. Okay. So, 3 cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards actually on the Taylor Swift effect. Yeah, and Anna's saying, "What's wrong with the smell of curry?" I know. I love Indian food. Sounds good right now. They say things that they think are offensive sometimes, and it's just like, what? You got to stop and figure it out. The Taylor Swift effect. Oh, interesting. It's going to balance out the equation to a place where it logically makes sense. Taylor Swift's involvement is going to bring America together, actually. MAGA's terrified of Taylor Swift. They really just don't know what to say. The hangman indicates MAGA's going to have to... It's a quick... It's a swift effect. It's going to happen fast. The Chariot. And then not only did she put out that statement after the debate Tuesday night, then she went on the MTV Awards and, she probably won all the awards, right? And she got up there and she told people to vote early, which just public service announcement. Vote early. I'm getting the word to vote early because, like Simon Rosenberg is saying, we need to win in October. So everybody vote early because the more evidence that's there that we're having a blue tsunami, the less they're going to be able to mess with it. All right. I know Gloria saying she won all the MTV awards. It doesn't take a psychic, and I didn't even have to read that. Of course she did. So, yeah. So the Taylor Swift effect is swift because I have the Chariot card. I have the Hangman card, which is the surrender. Surrender, MAGA. Can you just say like the Wizard of Oz? Surrender, MAGA. Surrender, Dorothy. And we're coming into more balance in terms of there is common ground. I'm going to check out when early voting is too. So everybody make sure that you make plans to vote early. There is common ground. We are coming to it. Yogi Bear is saying, Thomas, wait till Trump passes away. Our founding fathers are going to give him a blanket party. Let's read on Trump's health. Well, I already read on the government shutdown. I'm kind of like not going to read on that. It was on Wednesday, and the long and short of it is the MAGAs are afraid to shut down the government because they're done. I mean, they're really done. They're fried. If they do that, it's all over for them. So we're going to choose 3 cards now about... I'm going to pick 3 cards about what's being done to protect us. I definitely, and I've said it before, I have a vision of military presence to protect the voters on November 5th. So find out when you can vote early, when early voting starts, and do that. I do feel that the government, the United States, is getting a plan together to keep us safe around Election Day and around the certification of the votes. And Tommy Tuberville, like I told you the other night, is threatening a January 6th. These people are weak and pathetic. Okay, so what I have is courage. The courage card, the player card. Okay. I'm reading on the protection being put in place for our citizens, for the United States, And it's actually kind of similar to the debate, kind of similar to when Joe Biden stepped aside. It's interesting because this is another incident of MAGAs are going to be very like, what is this? They think we'll be unprepared for what they have planned, and make no doubt about it. They have, yeah, Tuberville should be investigated for that, right? They have a plan for another January 6th. Yes, they do. And it's the courage of the United States people. You know, it's really, you know, the military takes an oath to protect us from enemies, all enemies, foreign and domestic. So I do see this is a confusion in the player card. Yes, they're definitely, MAGAs are definitely, they're so stupid. I shouldn't laugh because it's serious. But they really are concocting a plan to have a coup. They're doing that right now. And they're going to end up, this is the player card and the confusion card. They're going to end up confused because I think their plan is going to be met with some kind of interference that they don't expect. That feels like arrests to me. That feels like arrests to me. Let me see. This is interesting. The plot thickens. That feels like arrests. Is that was I feel like that these people are going to get caught. I feel like they're going to get caught. Homeland Security is calling for a Super Bowl level security for the Capitol on yes, I definitely see that, but it's not just that. That's not the first thing that I saw. The first thing that I saw, Warren, is military presence on voting day. You go, military members are being monitored too. Well, yeah, I do feel like to the best of our ability, but I have the courage card there, so that leads me to believe that we will have courageous people in place. And I think more, I understand why the person that was at Arlington Cemetery attempting to enforce the rules when Trump was there for the photo shoot, I feel like she would have been okay if she came forward and pressed charges. And I actually think that, what military? The United States military, Gloria. What do you mean? I feel like we're going to see people that are more courageous. Look at Sean Fain, the United Auto Workers president. We will see people become more courageous. You'll see it. I feel like in the next 2-3 weeks, we're going to start seeing people not chickening out because of MAGA. You know? All right. I'm going to pull 3 cards about what Biden's doing. What's he up to? Yeah, I think the DOJ is doing their job investigating nefarious people too. I totally agree with that. We won't hear about it until they're indicted. Totally agree with that. So I'm kind of reading on that. I'm reading on Biden behind the scenes, which I really feel like he's working on Supreme Court reform. The whole reason for Donald Trump, as hellish as it's been, to have to deal with all this and to not have any peace of mind, is to strengthen our democracy. Yeah, National Guard makes sense, Gloria. Yeah, they're looking at what the plans are. Oh yeah, they know our enemies are after us, that's for sure. So reading on what's going on behind the scenes with the DOJ, I'm not saying that Biden is working with the DOJ, but what I am saying is they're all aware of the threat. They're all aware of the threat to topple America. They're very aware of it. And they're also getting they're strengthening. We have a very strong military. Yeah, Rose is saying you understand why she didn't press charges. I totally understand it. Totally understand it. 100%. I totally understand it. Why somebody wouldn't want their name out there to have the crazy MAGAs coming after them. However, my point is, yeah, she shouldn't have to hide for one thing. My point is, there are people that are courageous that are going to show us how it's done. The military should be pressing charges, yes. And we can read on that too if you want. All right, so I have, behind the scenes, our intelligence agencies they're picking up what's going on. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm getting this image of the old-fashioned, like, Morse code and, figuring out, the spies figuring out what the enemies are doing kind of thing. That is going on. And they're getting somewhere with that. There's the Achiever card. The Tower card is the DOJ disrupting what's happening with Russian interference. I think that they know way more than we'll ever know that they know. What's the Scan Me decal for? It goes to my website. Let me what else do we really have to read on before we go? Damon's onto something? It'll be the National Guard. Yes. Yes. Doesn't that make sense? Right? And just yeah, Damon, I'm really picking up that there, remember when George W. botched that fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you? No, I screwed it up. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I even screwed it up. Lisa, do you think it takes a psychic to answer that question? I'm not being flippant. I'm asking a real question. Didn't you ask me that before? Oh, no. It was on a show that I was doing with somebody else, asking about how the debate would go. 3 cards about how we're all doing. How we're all doing as Americans. We are going to see more courageous people coming forward. How we're all doing. Okay, well, this is what I'm getting. How we're doing as a collective. How we're all doing. Little Flower, they need to protect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They are protecting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I mean, you really don't think they have security? Electra Storm is asking if there'll be a VP debate. There's supposed to be a VP debate on October 1st, I believe it is. Did I read your FYI post? No. It's really hard for me to see. How we're all doing. I have the Fool Child card. What that is indicative of is we have to be willing to, basically, this is what the card is speaking to me. We have to be willing to learn more about what's going on. Yes, what Annette Serrano was saying, we must not be intimidated. That's what they want us to. That's what I'm saying. When I say the woman at Arlington Cemetery, I understand 100% why she didn't want to press charges. And I'm also saying I see more courageous people stepping forward, even though it seems like a lot of people have been very timid I see a lot more people deciding to cast off that fear. Donald Trump is a big nothing. Donald Trump is a big buffoon idiot. He's like a mob boss who gets other people to do his crimes for him, and he incites violence. I really want to know why they're not stopping him from inciting all this violence. Yogi Bear saying, FYI, if you see people in white sheets and pillowcases on fire, don't call the fire department. They're having a race. Oh boy. It's hot in here. Yeah, I mean, there are going to be people that are just going to go like, screw that. You're not scaring me, right? That's what I'm saying. Salty Chip is saying, perhaps people will, but GOP won't be courageous. Understand that the MAGAs in our government they're under the duress of having to, because they've made promises and they've been getting paid from nefarious sources and their hands are tied. They have to bow to Donald Trump. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. They did it to themselves. So how the American people are doing, this is a fool child's card. This is the learner card. We are all on a learning journey. If you wonder what we're going through right now, we're all on a learning journey. How do you like it so far? You heard today that 45 security was in on that? Oh yeah, I lost the thread there. And the achiever. We have to go through this hard lesson. We're going through this hard lesson so we can get clear about who we want to be as a nation. Has Laura Loomer replaced Melania? That's an interesting question, because whenever I think of Laura Loomer, I keep on thinking of Melania, as if I feel like Melania is livid. And I did hear that Laura Loomer was staying at Mar-a-Lago. I did hear that. There's a guy in your community who drives an SUV with a Trump decal in the passenger window. I want to warn him that there's a predator in the backseat. There will be a time in the not too distant future where people will feel embarrassed to have Trump signs. And I'm telling you the truth. They will start to feel like they will sheepishly take those signs down and those flags. Okay, so because I mentioned it, I'll pull 3 cards about Melania. 3 cards about Melania. What is up with that? What I'm picking up is that I'm picking up this, that Trump, the Donald is mad at Melania and is using Laura Loomer to attempt to make her jealous. So there's something like that going on. I mean, I don't think it's actual like, no, you can't have me because Laura likes me better. It's not that. It's that there's something going on there with Melania and Laura Loomer. I feel like Trump's kind of telling Melania he's going to do something for Laura Loomer that he's never done for Melania or something like that. Something like that. So here I have the love card. Oh, okay. So this is I have the love that what this I'm interpreting this as Donald is pretending he's in love with Laura Loomer. Well, Warren, you have to understand. Warren's like, I don't think Melania cares. Well, let me tell you, we all know that's a transactional business relationship. And I feel like he's saying something about what he's going to give to Laura Loomer. See the riches there? Not that he has riches, but, he makes promises that he can't really keep. I don't know if those people ever got their golden sneakers, for instance. And it's going to come out. We're going to hear about it. We're going to hear about Melania being ripping mad at the Donald. It's not that she wants him. That's not what it is. It's kind of like a humiliation kind of a thing. But she's going to humiliate him back. She cares about the money. That's exactly it. Is anybody buying her book? Did she write a book? Melania wrote a book? I didn't even know. Did I talk about his latest crypto? Well, basically, I don't really need to read on the crypto grift. It's all a grift. Donald Trump should just have grift tattooed on his head, on his forehead. So, I forgot I have tea leaves. I was just going to say see you later, but I have tea leaves. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you're new, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you feel like you're subscribed but you're not getting notifications, make sure you click on the notification bell and resubscribe if you're not getting notifications. Warren said he was asked to buy a Trump bobblehead for $70,000. You deleted it? Apparently, there's like 200 different Trump items that you can buy, and one is a Trump bobblehead, and another one is a fish that can't even. It's a talking fish that you put on your wall, and it says things that Trump says. I mean, it's like this serious world that we're in, where we really need to deal with real problems. And we have the Trump reality show for the 9th year now. He puts out a new grift every day. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. It's going to be okay, everybody. I actually see at the bottom of the cup here. Let me show you some things. At the bottom of the cup here, I see a figure of somebody praying. There's somebody praying there. There's a cross. There's a lot of prayer going on. I also see a person running. I see people praying, and that prayer actually causing the dark ones to flee. That's interesting. Because it's our prayer and our intentions, if you're a prayer, it's our intentions and our positive thoughts that are causing things to go in a good direction. I'm getting that very strongly. So I want to encourage everyone to do our guided meditation for a healed America. We do those every Tuesday. I want to encourage everyone to really to hit the prayer books hard if you pray, or to just be quiet and meditate and visualize American democracy getting very, very strong, because it is working. This isn't Mars, in front of Mars. I see a lot of things going on behind the scenes with the wars that are going on. Things will get better. I know it's pretty dire. I know it's unbelievably horrible, but I do see some progress there. A lot of negotiations behind the scenes. And I see this looks like a hooded figure to me, and it feels like that's about the KKK and white supremacy. The white supremacists are going to be outed. I'm not sure really exactly what that means. Thank you, Annette Dion, the only other person with my name. I feel like we're going to hear a lot of news about white supremacists being outed. And see, what Trump is doing is he's bringing all of this ugly slime to the forefront, and then we get to decide what to do with it, right? And we get to decide to reject it. I don't know if any of you were brought up Catholic and or around that faith. When somebody gets baptized, one of the questions that's asked is, do you reject Satan? And this is about, like Trump is pulling all this ugliness out of the human condition, right? The ugliestness, the most bottom of the barrel slime. And then we get to reject it. And yeah, in your 71 years, you never saw politics so disgusting. There's a reason for that. That's what I'm explaining. If it wasn't so vile and disgusting, we would let it go in a certain way. Remember that, Gloria? Do you reject Satan and all his works? I do. So that's what's going to happen. That's what is happening is we have to buckle down and get really clear that we are done with this. We're like Kamala Harris says, and she's on a roll. And all the cards I pulled about Harris and Walz tell me they've already won this thing. We've got work to do. Don't get complacent. Join Grassroots Democracy. We have a lot of work to do. But this has been a very clarifying time. And we don't really learn from the easy lessons. We learn really big things from the hard stuff, right? Okay, so that's what I have for you tonight. Please stay for the slideshow where you see what the things that I have to offer, including the classes coming up. Also, Grassroots Democracy meets on Saturdays. Please join us. We only have 5 weeks, right? No, 6 weeks. I don't know. We don't have very much time. So let's not mess around. Let's really make sure that we're all working hard. We need all hands on deck. Okay. I love you too. Thanks for coming. Church of Spirituality is on Sunday. Please join us. And I did have a special service for 9/11 this past Sunday. All the things that I'm up to will be here. Please send us your selfie because we want to add you to the fan club at the end. Amy, reach out to me for the tarot reading. And we'll do a raffle for the other tarot reading that an anonymous donor donated. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you at our meetings. Namaste.
Was a dark day, we were frightened, so much chaos, so many white men, caught off guard, no one knew what to say. How did it all get so crazy? Facts were absent, the air was hazy, we stood watching, tears streamed down our faces. While in the White House there was a tyrant glued to the TV, cheering the violence. When they pleaded, he refused to say a word. He just sat there in his fury, lashed out against us. The world was worried. We didn't know if we would make it through. The day they stormed the Capitol, they couldn't take it down, and now we're rising up in numbers much too numerous to count, and we are taking back democracy, and we won't be backing down. We are taking back democracy, and we won't be backing down. Now we're standing, we're united. Our elders showed us the most worthy fight is for our freedom, requires vigilance. We're courageous, growing stronger, not complacent. We serve with honor, and our power is the love that leads our way.